right, up first is the Bent Creek Road intersection at East Glen Avenue. The improvements will consist of some access management, ultimately widening East Glen a little bit as you approach the intersection of Glen, offset left turn lanes, and modifying the radius if you are traveling eastbound, if you will, towards Sam's to reduce some rear end collisions. Next up, we're going to walk through the South College Street corridor beginning at Shuler-Toomer Parkway. That project will consist of the addition of right turn deceleration lanes and a traffic signal that has been approved by AlDOT that we will hopefully do that project within the next couple of years. Moving on up South College Street in the area of West Veterans, most of the improvements on South College Street are for access management. Down south of Veterans Boulevard, the proposal is to construct a raised median and a right turn deceleration lane. As you go north, at the same intersection, Veterans Boulevard, another right turn, southbound right turn deceleration lane, as well as additional medians. Between Carroll Street and the area of the old Supper Club across from Best Rental, again, more access management, constructing raised medians to restrict the lefts out of those businesses. As you approach Lake Street, between Lake Street and Harmon Drive, more medians are proposed, again, restricting the lefts out of those businesses, making it a much safer scenario. And Harmon Drive on South College Street would be the addition of northbound right turn lane at Harmon Drive. As you approach the intersection of between Longleaf Drive or near Longleaf Drive, additional access management measures are proposed, primarily making the driveways out of the Goo Car Wash, the Walmart across from Alabama Power, and the bank, turning those into right-in, right-out driveways to minimize the conflicts of left turns out. Some additional medians as you continue to travel north in the area of in front of the old Winn-Dixie. And at the intersection of Sugar Jordan Parkway and South College Street, additional access management. And we're also proposing to add a multi-use path or sidewalk starting at that intersection on the west side, which is the university side of College Street. Continuing on northward on South College Street in the area of kind of where the Verizon is, the strip retail, modifying that access, closing off one of the full access driveways by extending a median, and continuing the multi-use path on that west side of College Street. As you approach College at South Donahue Drive, the proposal is to improve the center left turns by having what we call offset left turn lanes. Those are safer than left turn lanes that are directly opposed from each other. So offset left turn lanes and a proposal to add a northbound right turn lane kind of on the Blooming Colors corner, and then continuing that multi-use path on the west side. That project will likely include upgrading the existing span wire traffic signals to decorative mast arms as well. Continuing on North College Street is just the addition of the multi-use path along the west side of College in front of the new Googe Performing Arts Center. Something we mentioned to the university in the early design stages of that project. But that was not part of their plan at the time, but we would like to extend that multi-use path in the future. And also construct a right turn deceleration lane northbound right onto Woodfield Drive. Continuing north on College at Thatch, location of the new Culinary Arts Center, proposed to construct a westbound right turn lane at that intersection and potentially reduce the radius of the crossing for pedestrians if you're going north. All right, now we're on North College Street. We're north of Glen. This is North College and Drake Avenue, just north of actually in the historic district. And the plan is to construct left turn lanes in the center on College and on Drake, potentially redo the traffic signal from span wire to decorative mast arms. Continuing north, North College Street at Shelton Mill Road would also include the construction of a left turn lane on College, and then a right turn lane on College or northbound right onto Shelton Mill Road, and just some slight modification to the traffic signal phasing. North College at Ashton Lane is proposed to have a left turn lane installed, constructed, and traffic signal eventually. All right, switching gears to Dean Road. The Dean Road corridor, this is South Dean, starting at East University Drive, south end of town. This is one of the more unique changes proposed by Skipper Consulting in that they're recommending a road diet. Road diet is where we essentially reduce the travel lanes and make it more of a complete street. So you'll have through lanes, bike lanes, and sidewalk. Kind of a complete street, but we're utilizing the existing lane configuration or the existing curb-to-curb widths and just reducing the travel lanes. So Dean Road is proposed to have 2 through lanes in this section from East University Drive as you approach Moores Mill Road. 2 through lanes and then bicycle lanes on both sides of the street, 6-foot bike lanes. As we approach the intersections, the first one you come to is Moores Mill Road. The road diet will kind of pan out, if you will, and we will have 3 full lanes at the intersection. So you'll have 2 through lanes and then left turn lanes at Moores Mill. The bike lanes will pick up on the north side of the intersection. We currently have 4 through lanes on North Dean, north of Moores Mill now. So the proposal is to go with 2 through lanes, a center turn lane, and then bike lanes. And that cross-section is proposed to continue as you go up through the middle school, again having a through lane in each direction, a center turn lane, and then bike lanes on both sides. As you approach the Sanford intersection, again, the lanes, you do get back to full left, right, and through lanes at that intersection. And then the bike lanes will pick up again on the north side of Sanford Avenue in front of Dean Road School. Again, continuing north, same cross-section, 2 through lanes, center turn, but we do pick up the dedicated left turn lane at Thatch. And that cross-section continues until you get near the Glen Avenue intersection in the area of McKinley. The road diet will taper, the bike lanes will end, and you'll go back to full through lanes and left and right turn lanes at the Glen Avenue intersection. North Dean Road at Glen Avenue intersection in the area where Kroger is, Walgreens, Glendine Shopping Center. Going through the intersection, no changes are recommended. So you'll still have a left turn lane, right turn lane, through lane. And then the bike lanes will actually pick up as you go east of, as you continue to go north past Harper. The proposal also includes the construction of sidewalk on the west side of Dean Road from Harper up to Opelika Road. And then you'll pick up at Animal Drive is right here. As you approach Stage Road, Road Diet, as you approach the railroad tracks here. One of the things we need to do is extend that right turn decel lane across the railroad tracks. If you've ever been to Opelika Road and D Road, the turn lane starts about right here now. So one of the proposals is to extend that right turn decel lane across the railroad tracks. And so as you continue north on Dean Road, the proposal is to add sidewalk along that west side up to East University Drive. All right, South Donahue Drive. This is South Donahue going this way. This is East University Drive, Auburn University Federal Credit Union here. Recommended improvements are right turn decel lanes, and then the addition of a multi-use path on the west side of Donahue Drive.
That's headed back towards the campus?
Yes, yes. So be completely on the west side. Here's the old blooming colors again. So it'd be a multi-use path completely on that west side. This is North Donahue Drive. This is Glen. Donahue Drive. This is the Gold Coast here. I do need to mention that some of these improvements that are recommended will be done when developments occur. These won't all be done by the city. Barrett's probably thankful. She saw that $25 million and almost died. But some of these developments will be predicated upon redevelopment, which is a practice we do now. So this is North Donahue, Glen, recommending right turn decel lanes on 3 Cutler 4 approaches. This is Donahue at MLK. Again, the addition of right turn deceleration lanes on Bragg and then on MLK Drive. Continuing north on Donahue, this is Clark Avenue. The recommendation for pedestrian safety is to continue that multi-use path or sidewalk on that west side. It stops at Clark now and picks up just at Spencer, somewhere about Spencer. So we have a missing section of sidewalk. So the recommendation is to, okay, Spencer. So the recommendation is to fill in that gap for sidewalk. And Donahue and Shook, I actually have 2 slides. Donahue and Shook intersection is broken up into 2 pieces. This is Shook Jordan. This is North Donahue Drive. The first piece, and I think it's in the 2 to, it's in the short 0 to 2. So an immediate need for this intersection would be to add these right turn deceleration lanes at the Walmart Neighborhood Market and on Shook Jordan Parkway. Eventually, with the 5 laning of Donahue, we'll need to reconfigure the north end of this intersection. The turn lanes will remain, but you do see the addition of the green bike lanes and then some additional reconfiguration here. So that's a long-term plan for this intersection. Continuing north on Donahue, so from, this is the gas station here. So pretty much the 5 laning of North Donahue will look a lot like this. 5 lanes, a center turn lane at intersections, right turn lanes at roadways, but in most of it, we anticipate having medians for access management, and then there are long spaces where there will be development access. So there'll be landscape medians potentially, multi-use path on the west side from Shook Jordan up to Farmville Road, and then a sidewalk, 5-foot sidewalk potentially on the east side.
So you say multi-use path, that is for bikes, or that's sidewalk?
Basically a wider sidewalk. Okay. So this will have bike lanes as well.
Okay.
I think I failed to mention that.
Okay.
So 12-foot travel lanes, buffered bike lanes, multi-use path, sidewalk, right turn deceleration lanes at the intersections, left turn lanes, and then some landscape medians as well.
Yeah, on the multi-use path, those are proposed to be 10 feet wide, and so they are able to accommodate bicycles, but they're primarily for as non-expert bicycles, the occasional user. And so on that roadway, you're making provisions for both the occasional or younger rider on a multi-use path, and the professional riders out on the bike lanes on the asphalt pavement.
How does that work with like bike laws? Like, I mean, is that confusing from a, I don't want to get in the weeds on this, I can ask that later. I mean, from bike laws, just to act as a vehicle, but we're going to encourage.
It's a standard design.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's all in the AASHTO design guides and everything, and it's, because it's designated what's called by FHWA a shared use path, it's exempt from sidewalk restrictions anywhere else. And again, they are meant for less confident bicyclists, children, access to schools, things like that, where you wouldn't necessarily want those user groups in the street. They wouldn't feel comfortable, maybe you wouldn't feel comfortable as a parent
Sure.
having your child do that, so we're looking at those in strategic areas.
Thank you.
North Donahue and Farmville. This continues the fun lane section of North Donahue. This is an eventual plan. Dual lefts on to Farmville, which will mean widening Farmville Road. We currently have a right turn decel at Farmville, so Farmville will need to be reconfigured to receive those 2 lanes. East University Drive. This is East University Drive at Opelika Road. This is the last project that we completed from the last study. And the recommendation is to provide the dual lefts here in front of CVS, as well as do some access management at CVS and at Flint's Crossing to make those right-in lanes. East University Drive, again, this is at Stoker Street. This is the fire station. The recommendation is to add left turn lanes into West Shore Landing as well as into Stoker Street. I think that's a high accident location. Is that right? No, okay. At East University Drive, excuse me, and Ball Parkway, just constructing a northbound right turn lane and doing some sidewalk reconfiguration. This is a capacity, this is East University Drive, this is Sagahatchee Road, this is Annalee Drive. Recommendation is to restrict, actually to remove, abandon this portion of Sagahatchee Road, convert it into a pedestrian or bicycle boulevard, and restrict lefts out of Sagahatchee Road for capacity. You have some accidents at this location. But the next slide will show you what we're proposing in Annalee to make it safe, would be the addition of left turn lanes on Annalee Drive. Excuse me, on East University Drive for Annalee Drive, if that makes sense. So that's one of the more major recommendations from Skipper. But we'll provide a safer intersection. Sagahatchee Road, you can actually exit and get back out this way. This is East University Drive at South Dean Road. This is Dean Road, Parkway Baptist Church here. Currently, this intersection has an level of service, well, in the future, an F, which F is the worst. A is the best, F is the worst. So the recommendation is to restrict the lefts from South Dean Road, which will improve that level of service. Gateway Drive, East University Drive, adding some additional lanes here to improve the capacity of that intersection. Southgate Street, this is East Sanford, so you're going west to east on Sanford. Gate Street is a corridor that will be a mix of shared use markings as well as bike lanes, and as I walk through the slides, you'll see where we have right-of-way restrictions. We'd like to do share roads, and where the speeds are low enough, we'll do share roads. And then as we go, I think I said east, I'm in north. This is Miller, this Gay Street, recommending green bike lanes in this section. There's Thatch. And then between Thatch and Magnolia, there's Thatch, there's Magnolia. We would install the lane markings, which is shared lane markings in that section. And then from Magnolia to Glen. We would do a little bit of roadway work, have a center turn lane, a through lane in each direction, and proposing green bike lanes.
Allison, does future redevelopment on South Gay, does that plan, you think, cover the potential for more activity there?
Yeah, we'll need to look at it as it redevelops, look at any changes to the sidewalk, any urban environment, you don't use deceleration lanes as much, but we'll definitely be looking at any changes to the access as part of redevelopment. But this gets a bicycle corridor. Early in our discussions with the consultants, they requested College Street as a corridor for bicycles. College is a major roadway for us. We want to preserve the capacity. North Gay was the next best thing for our north-south bicycle corridor. So again, what you'll see is a combination of shared use lane markings as well as actual, as well as bike lanes. So this is Opelika Road.
Allison, as this potentially develops, is there an education plan that goes along with this for communicating to the public how to use these types, I mean, just because we're so conditioned to not have the, I mean,
Yes, we
is
can
that
do that.
like an education plan that goes along with
Yes.
having these?
Some of these will happen when we resurface Gay Street. Resurfacing and restriping can handle some of these. Some of them won't necessarily be constructed infrastructure projects, but we can definitely look at doing some kind of PR as we do some of these new initiatives. Again, Gay Street, this is Opelika Road, and this gets us to Drake with proposed bike lanes. All right, East Glen Avenue. This is Glen, this is College, this is the Barney office building. Proposing a right turn and deceleration lane at that intersection, which will probably be done when that corner redevelops. Glen at North Ross Street, Veterans Memorial here, again, right turn deceleration lanes. Glen at Dean Road, which you saw a little bit of on a prior slide. Dual lefts on Glen, 2 through lanes, right turn deceleration lanes, so that's a pretty significant project. East Glen at East University Drive. Picking up a through lane headed to the mall. Here's Doug Sanford Stadium. Continue the dual left turn lanes and extending the right turn lane on that approach. East Glen at, this is Airport Road. This is the entrance to the high school. Recommending constructing a right turn deceleration lane and modifying the access, actually closing the access to airport motors for access management and getting it out of that right turn deceleration. Hamilton Road, here, Big Creek Road. Right turn deceleration lane, and in the addition of some shared use markings. We have bike lanes now on Hamilton Road, so this will assist with that. Martin Luther King Drive, here. This is Webster Road. Recommending a traffic signal and just doing some additional striping to get off of this existing multi-use path across the street. The traffic signal is the major item. And this is MLK at the ramp to Bishop Jordan Parkway. One of the problems we have now are backups on the ACEL lane, and Richard says if you couldn't build an ACEL lane long enough to accommodate it. So recommended a roundabout at this intersection, which we will have to permit through the DOT. Opelika Road. This is Opelika Road at Ross Street. Recommended a right turn deceleration lane on that northwest corner. Opelika Road at Dean, it's a little bit hard to see again. We talked a little bit about extending that right turn deceleration lane. The slide that Joe showed a few minutes ago also shows some additional improvements there that we can do to accommodate bicyclists. And this is Opelika Road, here is North Dean, so
to the,
The town's this way.
okay.
Yes. Sanford Avenue, this is North Dean, this is Sanford Tennis Courts School Board Office, recommending the addition of bike lanes, striped bike lanes, constructing a right turn deceleration lane, removing some of that on-street parking, and then tapering back to existing bike lanes on Sanford.
Does that help, like, after-school pickup on Dean Road?
Yes, and in the mornings, yes.
Okay.
They queue up now in that lane, so this would give a little more queuing for that.
Thank you.
Shug Jordan and East University Drive, we are currently already working on the first phase of this project. We're in permitting through ALDOT, so we'll construct this right turn decel lane here and this one. This is Publix. But in the long term, we need some additional capacity here, so we need to extend this ACEL lane. This is a long-term project. So we're going to do as much as we can now through permitting with the DOT. And this is Shug Jordan at South College Street. We get additional right turn lanes, offset left turn lanes. We kind of turned it on a little bit. Another good one, this is Shug Jordan Parkway. This is the ramp from Highway 14. The recommendation is an Alabama T intersection.
We don't like those in Auburn.
You don't like those? We're gonna rename it to an Auburn T.
Okay, but also did it.
We're gonna build an Auburn T.
That's funny, it's really a Florida T, but the Alabama Department of Transportation refuses to recognize it's a Florida T. So they call it an Alabama T.
So we'll include a signal at the ramp, at the top of the ramp, as well as constructing a left turn lane. So if you're in the through lanes, you can just keep going. But this intersection needs a little work. I'll say that. You want to say anything about the Alabama T?
No, I think you did fine.
All right, just a few more slides. Yes, so part of what we asked Skipper Consulting to do was to evaluate the conversion of Thomas Street and Tudor Street to two-way. Wright Street is right here. We are in the process potentially of converting Wright Street to two-way. We opened bids this morning. So Wright Street is proposed to be converted to two-way. Part of that's predicated by the developments on Wright Street. So as part of Skipper's analysis, we did ask them to look at evaluating or changing Thomas Street and Tudor Street. Tudor Street now is one way south. Thomas Street is one way north. Overall, it will require the loss of 36 on-street parking spaces and some additional striping. But that's one of the recommendations. And then on Glen, pretty much from Donahue to Wright Street, we have several pedestrian crossings now. So we want to just provide some refuge islands so pedestrians can cross safely, and if they need to land in the center, they can do that. And I think this is the last one on Magnolia. This is Magnolia. This is Donahue Drive. This is Tudor's Corner, College Street. Due to the volume of pedestrians and the conflicts, we want to make those existing crossings raised crossings. I will say that we proposed this project several years ago before we built the existing crosswalks that are there, and we received some concerns from some of the business owners. But in order to provide additional safety for the volume of pedestrians that we have in this corridor, we want to pursue this again. It will involve relocating. We're recommending relocating the transit stop. Chick-fil-A is right here now. There's that existing transit stop. We'd like to relocate that as part of this project. And then do some shared lane use markings and reconstruct the sidewalk. We do have a project currently in design to add pedestrian lighting on that north side and widen the the sidewalk on the north side of Magnolia. So again, just an additional safety feature for the pedestrians.
I will say on that one, that Parker and I were working on a project, we were trying to remember what year it was, 2003, I think it was, when we put in the refuge islands and raised crosswalks. And I think at that time, we were convinced that that's exactly what it needed. But if we look back at Alta's work on the pedestrian crashes, that is still where we have the most pedestrian-related crashes in the city. And so we're recommending that we go another step and do raised crosswalks there.
Well, the line of sight is really hard on that road, and when a pedestrian's trying to make a crosswalk, a lot of times if a service vehicle is parked to make a delivery or something on that road, you can't see them when they're already halfway through the intersection. So the line of sight is really shortened.
Yes, and having those raised crossings will help. One of the other things we're evaluating for this corridor are rectangular rapid flashing beacons, which are the push button activated signals at pedestrian crossings. Again, are just another safety feature. What does that look like? That's it. That was kind of fast, so. Any questions? Anybody on any of the other corridors?
So this goes 20 years out, but I don't see an outer loop anywhere on this plan. I'm gonna ask the obvious elephant in the room question. So has that been identified?
So the outer loop is running a separate track from the Skipper study.
Thank you.
We have funds set aside this year to do a feasibility study of the west leg, what I call it from Farm to 14. I'm working with ALDOT and Federal Highway Administration on requests for proposals. So I can send those out to consultants so that we can refine. My hope is we refine that alignment of the outer loop on the west leg, and then we factor it into our projects and to all the other things we have
I mean,
going.
you already built one part of it. Conch Road.
We did build a small piece, yes.
You did.
We have, but yeah, development is trending that way, so, and we've been talking about our loop for 10, 12 years. But it's definitely on
So it's a separate project, but it would tie in, and this data would help
Yes.
marry those two things.
Yes. So,
Well, I guess that's a good point. This is by no means every proposed transportation project
right.
in the city. This is specific to the corridors of the rest.
Thank you.
We get a copy.
Yeah, so my plan is to post this for maybe till the end of June. I'll give you time to digest it and send us any questions or feedback. Skipper Consulting will continue with the signal coordination piece of their work. They won't actually be able to do the after timings until the fall when the students are back. But we'd like to wrap up the bulk of the technical piece of their work, hopefully this summer.
Allison, if the public has questions, would they forward those questions to your office, to Scott's office, to the city manager? Who would they?
They can forward them to me or to Brandy.
Your brain.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, in the same group when you send to the city manager, but yes, any questions.
All right. So our plan is to have this on our website by early next week, and then the public.
Yeah, we'll post both presentations with these exhibits, and you guys can look at them or if any questions, we'll talk about it.
I have a lot ahead, but I'll write it down.
Okay, Richard, anything else we need to cover? Brandy, did I cover everything?
So thank you for this opportunity, Allison. Your team's done an awesome job.
I'm going to say thank you for your attention.
Allison and her team's done an awesome job with this. There's a lot of details behind the scenes that goes into putting your information together for the presentation, a lot of analysis and charting and things studies that incorporate what we've seen today. And so looking forward to being able to move forward with this plan, but this has been an opportunity for public comment, particularly for the council, to provide comment. Providing something in writing would definitely help us to provide more thorough response back on that. So
I did want to mention two things. One, the results of the prior public hearing from April, those comments did get to Skipper. They did evaluate all of the comments and factor those changes into recommendations as necessary. I did want to mention that so people didn't think we didn't hear them the first time. The second thing is the prioritizations. We will work with Barrett and the city manager's office to prioritize those projects along with the other things we have going. I think there were 8 immediate projects, but you guys know how much we already have on our schedule. So as we start working through our mid-biennial budget and start looking at FY 20 and 21, we'll factor in these projects and make sure that we can accommodate all of the improvements.
Is there any overlap between Skipper's work and what we've already got planned?
Yeah, a little bit, actually. Some of the projects that they proposed are already on our CIP, like North Donahue Widening, which is recommended as a long-term project. It's currently in our CIP for 22, 23, 24. So we'll make those adjustments as necessary unless the council desires something to be moved around. But several of the projects that are proposed are already in our CIP because they're things we've been talking about for years. Yes.
Do you see the alternative as well coming from this what we've got here and changing some of our outlay or some of our future capital improvement projects?
I do.
And kind of reorganizing that?
Yes. You know, some projects like Drake and College, it may have garnered a lot of interest over the years, and the council may say, we want to go ahead and do that project. That's perfectly fine. So some projects we, like I said, we already had on our books, and some we will shift around a little bit if they can wait.
And some may be driven by, like you prefer earlier development.
Absolutely, yes.
Allison, can you provide your email address?
Email address is Frazier, AFRA.
Please, could we have her city card so we can email questions to her,
Yes.
as you suggest?
Sure. I'll get the card at the conclusion.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you.